Well, what about veteran benefits? This is really what we call the diamond in the rough. There's a couple requirements for the aid and attendance program, that's what it's called, but essentially it's a disability pension program. And you didn't have to be injured during your service time. However, you did have to serve during wartime. So if you were World War II, Korea, then you're going to be possibly eligible for that benefit. The second part is there's a disability requirement. Well, now, under the VA administration, if you're over age 65, you've crossed that threshold. Now we have to look at, is your disability then require aid and attendance? A net worth requirement cannot exceed $50,000 for single people and $80,000 for couples, and the house is exempt and so is the car. Now where you have to be careful is that if you go ahead and do this program, you still own the house. When the house sells, it's not exempt anymore. So you could be getting this veteran benefit, you sell your house, that money comes in, now it's counted, now you exceed those parameters, and the benefit would stop. So it may make sense in the planning to sell your house first, then go after the benefit, so that you don't exceed those levels, and you can do some estate planning then to qualify for those benefits. And then the income requirement is simply that your medical expenses must exceed your income. So what does that really mean? Well, here's the dates of service before I go to that slide, and you can see World War II is a little longer than the actual date of the signing of the peace agreement, if you are historians like myself. And I said, well, that was pretty nice. But let's look at a case history. Here's a single individual. He's in assisted living. The asset level is below $50,000, so we're safe there. He has $1,000 in income, so he has a negative balance of $2,000 a month. VA will then pay $1,644 a month, so he will stay in assisted living for less than $500 a month. That is a huge advantage. This is a program that is kind of difficult to unearth if you don't know about its existence. So this is essentially for somebody going to assisted living that is a veteran, this really works well. And if it's the widow of a veteran, in the same situation, she would get $1,056. So again, she would essentially be getting $2,000 and only going to assisted living for $1,000 a month. You can't live at home for that. So again, assisted living, this is a great program. Now when we're talking about the qualification levels in this disability requirement, if it's a physical disability that causes you to go to assisted living, you have to be able to not be able to do most of your daily living tasks. Can't dress yourself, feed yourself, take medication on your own. Now, if you have a cognitive impairment, slight dementia, Alzheimer's diagnosis, and you're assisted living, you automatically get this. If you're in a nursing home, you automatically get this. So again, this is a great program to create some additional funds for you to be able to have money to pay for long-term care and assisted living and a nursing home. Well, why don't we talk about what everybody's concern is, how can I stay home longer? Well, in this case, they meet the threshold for assets. They're under $80,000. Their medical expenses exceed their income, and they will then get the maximum benefit from VA, which is where there's a husband and wife, $1,949 a month, and it goes up every year. So now they're able to stay home. They got an extra budget to go ahead and pay all the medical expenses. However, what's the problem with this scenario? They don't have any money left for the property tax or utilities, money to buy food, because they've used it all for medical. But what's the solution? The reverse mortgage. Because they can then go ahead and get a monthly allotment from the reverse mortgage to replace the income that they need. And the reverse mortgage money is not income. It is just pulling your equity out, so it's not taxable. And they will then be able to stay at home with about a $2,000 a month budget for caretakers and they will be able to pull money out of the reverse mortgage. So again, this is sort of an integration of these benefits that allow you to be able to stay home longer. Now, the key piece is, well, what if we do something to qualify for VA? Because VA lets us alter our estate in order to qualify. Medicaid does not. They have the 5-year look back and the ban on any adjustments, especially with gifts. So you have to make sure that you basically piece those two sides together. So you know how, when you're coming for Medicaid, what you need to do in order to get to Medicaid. What do you need to unravel that you might have done to qualify for VA? So again, that's the tricky part. That's really, again, where we come back to, needing perhaps professional consultation to make sure you don't make a mistake. Because the worst case scenario for me is somebody that says, do you mind if you review this assisted living contract for me? I said, sure, I'll take a look at it. And then I go to the last page first, because this is classic, because it's signed already. And I said, well, do you really want me to look at it just so you can feel bad, or should I look at it and just say, well, maybe you're okay? Because once you do something, it can create a situation where I can't fix it. We had a client that came to see us. They had already applied for VA benefits, and they hadn't sold or done anything with the house. And I said, well, you're either going to hold on to the house forever or you got a problem. And if we could have waited a little while to file that application, we could have done the reverse mortgage and then fixed it early. So again, these application dates can lock you in to not being able to do very much.